Hey guys, welcome back to the Sunset of RuneScape Classic series. I'm Twinn, and today I am working on getting my last 3 skills to level 10. Right now we're working on crafting. I'm actually collecting the cowhide from these cows. This is a field in Lumbridge. It's a really iconic and classic cow field that a lot of people have trained at over the years, but I'm killing cows today and I'm collecting their hides, but I'm also getting XP in other skills in the process, which is kind of a nice perk. So first and foremost, I'm training combat, which in RuneScape Classic this is actually a fairly efficient place to gain combat XP because the cows have so few hits and they offer okay XP. In RuneScape Classic it's more about finding a low level creature that you can kill quickly, just because of the way that XP balancing works in the game. So yeah, that's very nice. I've gained a few combat levels since I've been here. I'm actually at combat level 27 right now, and I'm trying to get that up as fast as I can if I'm going to take on the King Black Dragon before the game dies on August 6th. While I'm here, I'm also picking up the beef that these cows drop, and I'm using the trees here to collect some wood, start fires, and cook the beef while I'm here, getting my cooking level up, just because. And also the cows drop bones, of course, so I'm burying them, getting prayer XP. So yeah, this is an all-around nice way to prepare for level 10 crafting. I'm not exactly sure how many hides that I'm going to need because I haven't ran this like through a calculator or anything, but I'm trying to hit 100 hides at a time, and then I'm going to go and use those 100 hides to craft. I'm going to start off with leather gloves, I believe, and then move on to leather boots. So yeah, I'm just going to sit here and continue collecting cow hides, and I'll take you along with me as we go get these tanned into leather and craft them into gloves and boots. So if you haven't played this game before, in RuneScape Classic, when you try to do anything, it doesn't automatically work like normal in RuneScape. You can fail an action, so like if I swing at a tree, I could miss. Yeah, you slip and fail to hit the tree. So yeah, all of your actions don't automatically work. Get some wood. So I got some wood that time. So yeah, I'm collecting wood from these trees. I have to drop it on the ground. I can't start a fire with the wood in my inventory, which old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3 are different in that respect. And then I just use the tinderbox on the logs, and you fail to light a fire. It normally takes a few times to get the fire going. There we go. Hey, and there's a fire making level. It's just another skill that I'm working on while I'm out here. And then I use the beef on the fire. And it always cooks. It's just, in this case, sometimes it cooks well and sometimes I accidentally burn it, which is just like the regular RuneScape game. And there's 4 for 4, awesome. So then I'm just dropping the meat as I go along. I don't really need it. The cows, their max hit is 1, I believe, at least with my armor. Yeah, my armor's 73. I don't think they can hit me more than a 1, and they're not very accurate, so they never drop me below more than 1 point below my max health, so it's really pointless to carry food around, and I'm not trying to collect a bunch of raw beef, or cooked meat rather. So yeah, I'm just dropping the cooked meat on the floor and continuing to collect the cow hides, which are more valuable to me at the moment, and more valuable in general for the record. So this cow field is on the east side of the river Lum in Lumbridge, and if you come over here, I believe there is, yes, this is a little chicken farm. There's always a bot in here normally collecting feathers and killing people. Is that the bot? Yeah, that's probably a bot. Not 100% sure, but it's very difficult to collect feathers here because there's always normally a bot online taking all the feathers. But yeah, so if you've played old school RuneScape or RuneScape 3, this is just so you can kind of have a reference as to where I am. If I went further north of this road, we'd reach Varrock. But I will show you a little bit around Lumbridge. You got to see a little bit of this before. If I head south down this road, we will get to the Goblins territory. I've also got a farmer here. But yeah, there have always been goblins outside of Lumbridge, and these guys drop some interesting things. They're decent for combat training at pretty low levels, so I may come back and pick on them for a while just for fun when training combat. And there are so many players online in recent days, I guess mostly because of the big news. The player count has spiked up as of late, We normally have 40-50 on this world at a given time on a good day. Sometimes it's way lower than that for several days in a row. Oh, there's also spiders over here. It's interesting. There were spiders here even back in RuneScape Classic. But recently we've had numbers of over 100 on World 2 at any given time. With plenty of people on the other worlds as well, which there are 5 RuneScape Classic worlds. So here is the River Lum when you cross the bridge into Lumbridge proper. We have the castle as usual. Let's see, the Church of Saradomin is right here. Let's go inside and look at that. We've got some people in the church. Let's go ahead and pray. I think we're full on prayer points anyways, but figure out which direction is south. This is hilarious. Yep, you've got a priest inside the church. Well, we got Bob's axes over here, I believe. I think these guys are trying to figure out how to play. No, this room's just a bed. There is Bob. Bob sells axes. Let's see. I just want to look at his stock. Give me a quest. Have you anything to sell? Let's see. I don't think he has a quest. Yes, I buy and sell axes. Take your pick. Yeah, so you can buy up to mithril battle axes, which is pretty cool. Which he is still in RuneScape 3 in basically the same spot. We have the not catacombs, but we do have a graveyard over here, like normal. Let's see if I can walk over here. And this should be where the Restless Ghost quest occurs. There's a goblin hanging out over here. Let's examine one of these gravestones. It's covered in moss. And you'll notice that you can't just easily leave Lumbridge out of the south here, like you can in old school RuneScape and RuneScape 3. Just an interesting side note. But the Lumbridge Swamp is to the south, and we will definitely be exploring that region later. These guys are cracking me up. Very entertaining chat coming from the people hanging out here in Lumby. Alright, so here is Lumbridge Castle proper. We have men and goblins inside here. Interesting that a goblin is right up in the front courtyard. You've got your standard Lumbridge fountain, and Hans should be around here somewhere maybe. Let's see, we'll walk inside, and we have... Ooh, there's an imp. Let's see if he drops anything useful. Imps are always worth fighting, right? Oh, I didn't mean to attack the man, but whatevs, I guess we'll see what he drops. Bones and fishing bait, okay. So the imp fled from combat. So in RuneScape Classic, when you fight, you are forced to fight through 3 ticks or 3 rounds of combat, would be the correct terminology here. Ooh, perfect. Grain, no big deal. You know, I think there's actually... Oh, there's Hans. Let's talk to Hans. Oh, wait. Attack Hans? Talk to Hans. Hello, what are you doing here? I'm looking for whoever's in charge of this place. I've come to kill everyone in this castle. I don't know, I'm lost. Where am I? Hans says, you're in Lumbridge Castle. Good work, Hans. I don't believe there's the bank at the top of Lumbridge like normal in RuneScape Classic. Yeah, no. Yeah, you can't climb up to that area like you can in RuneScape 3 and old school RuneScape. So, yeah, the bank in Kharid is actually the closest bank to us. Here is the kitchen, where eventually the all of those quests, the, what is it, Dimension of Disaster? No, that's the 200. That's the year 200 quest. Oh, what did I just kill? Was that a rat? Bones, probably a person. Interesting. Yeah, here's the cook. The cook's assistant quest started here. I can talk to you guys about that. So basically, when you talk to this guy, it's the Duke of Lumbridge's birthday, and he needs help baking the Duke a cake. So you go back to that cow field. There is one cow that's a dairy cow. You take a bucket to the cow, and you use the bucket on the cow and get some milk. You go over to that same farm with the chickens, and you collect an egg. Of course, your cake needs an egg. And then the last thing is you go to this silo, this grain. What do you... I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what you call it. Like, you basically, you pick a grain, and then you put the grain in the top of this big windmill thing, and you make flour out of it. So you need, I believe, a pot of flour. And you bring those ingredients. Ooh, look, this guy has the dragon battle axe and the dragon square shield, which is the best weapon in the game and the best shield in the game. Two of the best items in this game. The only other thing he could have is the dragon helmet. Now, so there's a dragon battle axe and a dragon sword, and the battle axe is actually better, like stat-wise, but the sword swings faster. So there are some scenarios where the sword is better. Here are the sheep. We'll be doing the sheep shearing quest, I believe. Let's see. Yep, sheep shearer. So that will be here. That'll be an easy one to take on. I'm just walking over here so you can see the windmill where we collected grain in the cook's assistant quest, and I did that in RuneScape Classic a long time ago. I always thought that I would come back to this and play the heck out of this, but I guess I shouldn't have taken the game for granted. Got this little cabbage field. I think we may have actually gone too far. No, not far enough. More chickens, which is good to know. And what's wandering over there? That was a chicken. And here is the windmill in all of its RuneScape Classic glory. So over here to the left, you get a better look, is the wheat. And let's see about making some flour. Just cuz. Let's see if we can figure it out. We're going to drop one of the cow hides, so why not? Let's pick a wheat. I just want to see myself doing this later. Right click, pick wheat, here we go. You get some grain. Awesome, exactly what that imp dropped a little bit ago. Obviously he was over here frolicking through the field of grain. And here is the windmill and all of its RuneScape Classic 3D glory. Okay, so this chute is where the flour is going to come out. I actually might need a pot to actually collect it, but maybe you'll be able to see it anyways. We'll climb to the top. We'll figure it out. Okay, so right here you have this hopper. So what we're going to do is use the wheat or the grain with the hopper. You put the grain in the hopper, and we're going to pull the lever or operate the hopper. It says the grain slides down the chute. Now when we go to the bottom of the ladder, there's going to be flour in the bottom. There we go, and we simply need a pot, probably. Take flour. I can't pick it up. I need a pot to hold it in. Yes. So then, yeah, that's how you make your pot of flour. And those are actually the ingredients, I believe, to bake bread, which is a decent starting food in the game. So it's probably a good lesson to learn, and the reason why they have us go through that quest in the first place. As soon as you finish Cook's Assistant, you actually unlock the ability to use the cook's range. He has a range next to him that you can use for cooking, and you can't like bake bread over a fire. You need a range for that, so it's kind of important to do that quest just so you can have access to that range. I'm not exactly sure where other ranges are located around here, so yeah, that's kind of useful, especially for noob players. Yeah, since we've talked through that, I'm going to go ahead and head back across the River Lum, across the bridge. If you haven't figured out why this is called Lumbridge yet, then I guess I've just led you there. And over here to the south of the cows, we have the gate to Kharid. And so Lumbridge is a city in the Kingdom of Mistalin. It's a kingdom of man that, you know, obviously it's a kingdom, so it has one king. The seat is in Varrock, all part of one large government. Once you cross through here, you're actually entering into a different government. Kharid is its own thing, and it actually, they kind of have this relationship with other cities in the desert. where they're not all one government, but they all have like treaties and alliances and whatnot, which isn't very apparent, I believe, in the story of RuneScape Classic, but that is a part of the lore in RuneScape 3. But this is the city of Kharid, the desert city. These camels were drawn by Andrew Gower's mother, I believe. She drew the bear and the camel and the snake and something else. But yeah, so that's kind of interesting. We have men here as well. Osman is a quest character. We will definitely be chatting him up eventually. We have all kinds of shops here. There's the palace. Let's go ahead and walk over here. Just like there's the castle in Lumbridge, you have this large palace here. Osman is like the head of their secret service or whatever, but this is like a desert. Well, it's a desert city. I think they have an emir or something as their leader. I can't exactly remember, but we'll be talking to him for sure, as there are desert quests that we'll be taking on. But yeah, so we just come over here to this bank, and I drop off the hide, and I think that I have enough hide to start doing some crafting now. Let's see how much I've collected. I also have a little bit of leather, so let's deposit all the hides. So we have 100 hides, and we have 23 leather. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up all of my gear. Take off I'm wearing full steel armor, and I have an amulet of strength on, and just a cape. Just a cape. It doesn't actually do anything for me, I believe. So let's put all of this up. Let's put up, we don't need the hatchet, we don't need the tinderbox for crafting. One by one, we'll put up all of our steel stuff. Oh, so the sleeping bag. If you're not used to the sleeping bag, this is actually interesting. The sleeping bag is a way to prevent botters, or it is supposed to. It doesn't actually work anymore, but originally that was the idea. So you use this sleeping bag. Oh, I still need to put some things up. When you're really high fatigued. So like my fatigue is 87%, so I'll show you how this works. As you skill, your fatigue gets higher and higher. And once it gets close to 100, once it gets to 100%, you stop gaining XP, period. So to try to break up the scripts that bots used, you have to click on the sleeping bag to sleep, and you have to wait a moment because you're sleeping, which is kind of funny. And at any point in time here, you can type in the word at the bottom, and you hit enter, and there you go, you got out of it. So yeah, that was just an anti-botting thing that they never took out of the game, and we still have to do it in 2018. But I guess we won't be doing it in 2019, and that's kind of sad to think about. But all right, back on track. I'm going to put this stuff up. I don't need, well, I will need money. I will need the sleeping bag to rest eventually. Probably not at first, so I can put it up, and I definitely need to put up the amulet of strength. Okay, so let's think. I need the money. We're going to go ahead and put up the sleeping bag since we just rested. And then amulet of strength. Oh, I already had an amulet of strength. That's cool. I have 2 amulets of strength. So now we're going to withdraw as much. There's actually 29, so we have 30 slots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 5 is 30. Yes. So in Old School RuneScape and RuneScape Classic, you have 28 slots. Pardon me. In Old School RuneScape and RuneScape 3, you have 28 slots. In RuneScape Classic, you actually have 30 slots, which is very nice. Okay, so one of these guys is a tanner. I believe it's the middle one. No, this is the forge. There is the tanner, so you talk to him. Greetings, friend. I'm a manufacturer of leather. Can I buy some, or here's some cow hides. Can I buy some leather now? Okay. Swap a cowhide for a piece of leather, and each swap is 1 gold. So I have 100 to swap, so it'll only take me 100 gold, which is not too bad, considering I have quite a bit of gold in my bank. Quite a bit for my RuneScape Classic standards. I don't have any cowhides left now. So yeah, the 100 gold to tan the leather is not too big of a deal. It's actually really useful that this guy's right next to a bank. That's actually very, very handy. So yeah, what we're going to do right now is we're going to We're going to tan all of our cowhides into leather, and then we will need a needle and thread, and we're going to start crafting. Let's see, page 1 maybe for leather. Leather. Right here, perfect. Yeah, we'll start crafting leather gloves as soon as I get all of these cowhides tanned. And that should just take a couple minutes. It takes a lot longer time to collect the hides than it does to actually tan them all. That's no big deal. And we should be level 10 crafting before you know it, actually. Okay, so now that I've tanned all of my hides into leather, I now have a little over 120 leather to craft with. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need more thread than this, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to use a needle on a piece of leather, and it's going to ask me what I want to make, and we're going to make gloves. And boom, we've got leather gloves. And let's see, our crafting... Okay, so we're at 165 XP. Let's do that one more time. Pick gloves. We advanced one crafting level. Perfect. So we went from 165 to 178. So we're gaining 13 XP for each one of these gloves that we're making, which is pretty nice. And as you can see, this is going to be a grindy process, but that is a-okay. All we're worried about right now is just gaining that XP, getting the levels that we need, not just for the honor or glory of having a high level, but also because high levels in some of these skills is going to be required to complete a lot of the quests that we have to complete. So yes, training these skills is going to be very important, and it'll be a lengthy process, but it'll be one that I'll actually have quite a lot of fun doing. And it looks like we just hit level 4 crafting already, and as soon as we hit level 7 crafting, we will be able to make the boots instead of gloves, which will be nice. I'm actually going to have to go buy thread before too long. I believe that we'll burn through all of this thread in crafting all of these gloves and boots, but we'll just have to see. I believe I can buy the thread either from the tanner or from someone really close to me, as if my memory serves me correctly. Awesome, so we just hit crafting level 7, which I believe means we can make boots now. Yes, we made some leather boots. So let's see, our crafting is 676 after making one pair of boots. We are at 692, so 86 to 92, 14, 15, 16. So instead of 13 XP per, we're getting 16 per. A nice little boost. You need some thread to make it. Oh, we just ran out of thread. Okay, let's go see if we can't get some thread around here. So I just went wandering through Kharid over past the palace. Let's see if I can show you. So the palace is over here to the west. There's the palace on the map right here. Just walk over here so you can see there are the pillars in the palace. And if you come over here to the east of the palace, we have a general store here, and Louis Legs is over there. He does plate legs and whatnot. But over here we have Dominic, and he sells crafting equipment. So if you look at his stock, he's got a bunch of thread, he's got the needle, and he has different molds. He also has a chisel for... No, you need the knife for fletching. I forget what to use the chisel for. I guess for some clay items. Haven't used that in a while. But yeah, I just bought 30 thread from him, which should be more than enough to finish up with all of the leather that we have accumulated. And I'm only on the second load of leather, and we're at crafting level 7. So I feel like we're going to hit 10 not even halfway through all of the leather that we collected, but while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and knock out crafting all of the leather that we have here and just see what crafting level we hit with all of these supplies. This actually hasn't been too lengthy of a process, but of course, we're just going through the very first levels in the skill, so... Actually, I don't need to look at my bank right now. I need to get back to crafting. Yeah, so now I have 30 threads, so I should not run out of thread between now and the time that I get through all of this leather. I'm just going to keep grinding along here. This is a very click intensive and grindy process, but it is a lot of fun. I actually kind of almost kind of prefer this to how everything in RuneScape 3 is so super easy. When this is all over, I really hope that RuneScape either decides to release an open source version of their game or a single player version of their game of RuneScape Classic. Hey, another crafting level. Because I really would just, I feel like I could just sit here and grind this. I know that it's, you know, you never know what you have until it's gone. I really wish that this was sticking around, because I could really see myself spending quite a bit of time working through the skills in this game. And getting max level in the original RuneScape looks like, I mean, that just feels like that would be such a glorious thing. And I've looked at some of the private servers available, you know, just kind of thinking ahead of time about the future, and most of them have boosted experience rates of like 10 times, so that you're gaining skills 10 times faster than in the original game. And I don't know, I just don't really like that. If RuneScape would release the source code to RuneScape Classic, then anyone could set up a private server, and they could set up a vanilla private server exactly like how RuneScape had it in the first place. So if they're not going to do anything with the game, rather than just let it die, I really hope that they make the choice to release that to the public. I don't think they will, but I really hope that they do, because I personally would run a RuneScape Classic private server, and I would just keep it plain vanilla just because of the history, and I would play it. I would try to get max level in RuneScape Classic. So I just finished crafting a full load of boots, and this is just the second or third inventory that we have used with the leather. Maybe the third, yeah, the third inventory that we've used. And I'm already level 11 crafting, which is pretty awesome. We've almost burnt through our leather. We have 1.5 more loads to go. But yeah, we've hit 11 crafting, which is very awesome. Our goal was 10, and we overshot that by a little bit, which is pretty cool. Guys, this is the last of the leather, and it looks like we are ending up at 13 crafting, and let's see, oh, we were just a few leather away from hitting crafting level 14, which 14 will allow us to make leather armor, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, that was that. That actually didn't take too long. Like I said, collecting the cow hides to be tanned actually was the longest part of the process. Let's see, we made 86 boots, and we already had 1 glove, so we made 37 pairs of gloves. That's pretty awesome, and we hit level 13 crafting. Yeah, the tanning the leather took no time, and crafting the leather, it was a bit tedious, but it wasn't a big deal. We actually went from 30 thread to 14 after burning through, I think we had 8 in the first place. So yeah, we went through quite a bit of thread. It cost us a little bit of money, but it wasn't anything over the top. I mean, I started with 5k in my pouch recently. I guess whenever the last time I took out cash, I took out 5k, and I'm down to 47.35. Really haven't burned through much money. I have a little under 2 mil in the bank to play with over the last 3 months of the game. 72 days. We have 72 days left. Oh, it's just so sad to think about. And yeah, I'd call this a successful little session. The next thing we're going to have to do is work on agility and then thieving, which are both level 1 with 0 XP in each of these skills. So yeah, I'm gonna call it an episode today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my parading around Lumbridge and Kharid. Someday we'll look back on this, and I mean, we won't have Classic to log into, so we'll look back on these videos and be able to see what these places looks like. But yeah, in the next episode, we'll be working on getting level 10 agility and level 10 thieving, hopefully in the same episode. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.